So this is something I thought everybody was doing, but I found out the other day that that's actually not the case. The other day I was playing Valorant competitive and talking to chat. I finished a game and I was explaining what I should have done in the final round of that game in order to win. And some of my chat said that it was good that I was thinking about that and that they didn't really ever think about what they could have done better after they die or lose a game. It was then that I realized that for some it's actually not intuitive to hold like a mini review kind of thing after you die, to think about what you could have done better to get a kill or survive or move on further into the game. For me, it's natural to think this way because I've been trying to get good at video games for years and I've absolutely hammered into my mind the idea of improvement. So this kind of thinking just comes naturally. It's what I want to do and what I try to do after I die or after I do something wrong. Not only does this mindset help you improve, but it keeps you out of the copium realm of coping about useless garbage that's out of your control that you really shouldn't even be worrying about, by helping you learn from your mistakes and sharpening your mind in the process of gaming. While doing anything competitive against other people, one of the main mindsets you should have is, what do my opponents least want me to do? And this is tip number 2 of the video. Now you might be wondering, how do I learn that? How do I know what they want me to do? How can I, in my mind, know their situation and think of what they want me to do when I'm still trying to deal with all my own stuff, right? I'm still trying to figure out what I should be doing. How am I supposed to know what they want me to not do? That's like a whole brain death. Now, it's true that this does take some amount of comfortability with the game in order to be able to move your mind away from yourself and into the shoes of your opponent. But it's not impossible. Just imagine yourself in your opponent's situation. What would you want the person you're playing against to do? What would you hate for them to do? What would be scary for them to do as they're coming towards you, they're about to fight you? Knowing these things requires experience and game sense that can only be learned by playing competitively very often, as you learn what's uncomfortable and very comfortable for you, and what's counterable and really easy to play against versus what's uncounterable and impossible. This is easiest to consider before you approach a fight. In the pre-round, if you're playing a game with rounds, or as you're walking up to a fight in a battle royale or something like that, thinking in that kind of downtime as you're approaching some conflict, that's when you should be thinking of, what does my opponent not want me to do? At a higher level, though, you can start to process this kind of thing mid-fight. So in the middle of a fight, you might think, oh, I should pull out some util here. Oh, I should build this way or run this way, or whatever it might be depending on the game you're in. It's possible at a high level to do this kind of thing during fight, like in the middle of the conflict between you and your opponent. This is really difficult and requires a lot of practice and familiarity with the game, but if you get it, it's really useful and can help you a lot in many situations. As you practice this, you'll find that you'll see your opponents in similar situations and think, oh, last time I did this and it didn't work, this time I'm gonna do this and maybe they won't like that as much. Or last time I did this and worked really well, I'll do the same thing because chances are the opponent doesn't want that to happen. As far as how to actually practice this skill, the best way is really just to play right now. There's no newfangled way yet of practicing this thing that requires so much game sense and so many hours of game time. A couple people, namely Woofjin, have been trying to find a way to expedite this process in certain games where you can try to put yourself in certain situations and immediately think about what the opponent would do and then compare it to somebody who knows what they're doing, like a really high-ranked player, and see how your gameplay and their gameplay compares when you're in a similar situation. But for now, the most tried and true way to develop this kind of thing is just playtime. Think about, while you're playing, what do my opponents not want me to do, and execute on that. If you're wrong, then you learn and you do something different next time and try to figure out what your enemy really doesn't want you to do in that situation. Real quick, if you want more videos like this, please subscribe. I post videos weekly on Saturdays, and at 1,000 subscribers, I'm making a Discord server, and that's going to be lit. Subscribe. The third tip is to play like you're watching a pro. I've heard coaches say this to people before, and I think it's really valuable. There are 2 simple steps that you have to take to implement this into your gameplay. The first is that you watch pros enough. Like, you have to watch pros enough to emulate their gameplay. Preferably, you're going to choose one pro that you're going to stick to, whose playstyle you really like, who you can imitate and plan on becoming more like in your gameplay. And the second requirement is to actually remember to do this. To remember to play like you're watching a pro. This can be achieved by any kind of reminder that you want to set for yourself, whether it's a mental note between rounds or between kills, or a physical reminder that you set on your desk. Just as you're playing, looking at your monitor, imagine there's a YouTube video of a pro that you like playing on that screen. And you're going to try to make your movement, your shots, your aim look exactly like as if that pro were on your screen right now. Here's the bonus tip for you. Be positive. Gaming is about fun, right? That's what you're here for. You're here to have fun. And forcing yourself to be positive actually helps with this. It'll help both you and your teammates' mindsets as you're going through the game, and it'll really keep the enjoyment fun even if you're losing pretty badly. Be the guy that you want to play with. Make jokes, hype up the team, be happy even if you're losing. It really goes a long way. Okay, tip 4. This is something I've dealt with seriously recently. I'll get down on myself when I lose like 2 games in a row on one night. I'll be like, I'm the worst ever. Why am I even playing? I should quit competitive gaming because I lost both games I played tonight. What? Like, what are you talking? It's a game. You lost 2 games in a night. So what? It doesn't matter. Losing 1 game ever is not going to impact you at all. Do you know how many games people like Tens or Clicks or Faker or Booga or Musty or whoever you want to call up, they're all lost so many games on their path to pro and becoming good. Losing 1 game shouldn't get you down. It shouldn't make you mad at yourself. It shouldn't make you want to quit. Losing 1 game should be like, okay, let's go check Tens' tracker from 10 years ago. 10 years ago, Valorant wasn't out. Let's go check Tens' tracker from when he first started playing Valorant. You think he won every single game? He didn't. When you start getting into competitive gaming, you're not going to win every game you play. Just because you're improving doesn't mean you're never going to lose. You have to lose to learn what you have to do better. And getting down yourself for a loss, or maybe you lost 8 games in a row. The other day, I lost a ton of games. It was tragic. I got down on myself. Then I thought, it's a game. I'm trying to have fun. I lost a couple of games. You know how many games people have lost trying to get good? A ton. They still got good. It doesn't matter. Don't get down on yourself. You can do it. What matters is your improvement and the amount of work you're putting into your improvement. Not that your rank went down 1 color and you can be really sad about it. No, it's not worth it. It's just not worth considering it like that. It's not worth getting down on yourself when you can be doing so much more productive things. One day you'll look back and laugh at how mad you got at losing 1 game in Silver 3. And it'll be funny. It'll be funny then, because you were mad about losing 2 games in a row. How sad. Tip 5 is to be constantly focused while you're playing. Now you may think, hey, I'm already focused. I'm playing competitive. Of course I'm focused. Why wouldn't I be focused? But you know that the truth is that there's that level of deeper focused where you're really leaning in that extra 2 degrees, where you're gripping your mouse just right, where your hands are like feeling intense on the keyboard, ready to click W in the most efficient way possible. That upper level of focus is where you need to get to if you really want to rank up fast. Now this becomes more natural as you play more and are forcing yourself into this focused mindset, but you can get really simple with reminding yourself to do this. Put big red letters on like your phone or your second monitor or something. Focus. And every time you look at that, get into that position, get into that mindset of super hyper focused, almost forcing yourself into a flow state kind of thing. Just remember to look at that reminder like between every round or every kill or every game, whatever it has to be, to keep it on your mind. Now, if you're not exactly sure what this means because you haven't tried it yet, or you maybe you're super new to a game and you don't exactly know how to focus in that game, go watch a pro. See how they're glued onto the monitor. They're so focused when they're in a game. It's crazy. Convince yourself that you're him, you're better, you're 200 IQ, you're unkillable, whatever you need to focus. Thanks for watching, and click here to learn about something gamers don't talk enough about.